Good evening. I've been watching Planning Commission meetings for years, and I have great concerns about Commissioner Gerald Johnson. He's the most divisive person on Planning Commission that I ever encountered. I gave him more than 6 months to learn, get acclimatized with the meeting. City business training time is over. His disgusting rhetoric last week saying that District 2 people only deserve fast food determined me to come in front of you and say something. During last week's meeting, he was very disrespectful to his fellow commissioners. The way he addressed to Dr. Alberts was simply misogynistic and divisive. He criticized their previous position on the project discussed. People have the right to change their mind, especially when new information and evidence is presented. He accused his fellow commissioners in the most condescending tone that they are trying to poke holes in the project just to get it denied. Yet, when it came to the design review for Popeye's restaurant, he contradicted himself. He had objection to the design during April meeting. Last week, he said the design was great when the design of the restaurant did not change at all. He flip-flopped on this issue, so I question his sincerity and morals. Clearly, special interest placing profit over people was a priority for him, and he went to great lengths to silence the commission and bringing their arguments during discussions. He discarded staff's recommendation on the project and showed clear disregard for general plan and Brentwood Boulevard specific plan. As a new commissioner, it is important to at least understand why the staff made the recommendations and adopt the stipulation that residents place in the general plan and Brentwood specific plan, Boulevard specific plan. He looked unprepared for this item and showed no interest in understanding further detail and information. The duty of a planning commissioner is to recommend plans for the regulation of future growth, development, and design of the city and carries out the provisions of the general plan and zoning ordinance. Mr. Johnson chose to ignore the general plan and Brentwood Boulevard specific plan, choose profit over people and our quality of life. He proved to be completely unaware that the regulatory effects of zoning are immediate, while the provisions of a general plan are long-term. If a general plan's implementation is limited to zoning, facing a long-term development, so may that it meets in general plan's objectives can be difficult. He is completely unprepared for the job in general. Look at the May 7 meeting when he expressed interest to be on the municipal code committee. He thought that would be a learning experience, adult education, continuing education, whatever you want to call it. We expect people on commissions and council to be ready to go day one when they make the decisions for our lives. He's also unprepared for the meetings. Look at the Vineyard Academy meeting. Also during Popeye's restaurant discussion, he said this restaurant will spur development in the area. He used this hyperbole without any foundation. We had 2 fast food restaurants in that area. We have not seen any improvement to date. Last week, we heard the assistant city manager mentioning that when a shopping center is improved, we see increased rent. Mr. Johnson showed no concern over the devastating effects this factor can have on the small businesses that currently operate in that shopping center. However, he was quick to insult the residents along Brentwood Boulevard, highlighting that the people in District 2 are less than, and we only afford low-priced food options. He proposed to invest and lift up the area, but never explained how that will change the demographics. In my opinion, he's suggesting that once the area is gentrified and the poor people move out, then there will be more affluent families establishing there. How about the people who live there today? He proceeded to say that a nicer restaurant, and I'm quoting him, will not come there because of the demographics and the income of the area. And I'm quoting again, with current demographics and the income of the area will not support nicer restaurants. Both statements are create an unnecessary hostile environment due to the words that degrade immutable characteristics of the community. I can go on and on with more examples. I will email those to you. I am asking you to remove Mr. Johnson from Planning Commission so we can be better in Brentwood and specifically better in Brentwood Boulevard area. Thank you for your time.